Foundation of Rotary International is doing. So these are the changes, and you will see it's also much more easy to give funds, to give money to the Rotary Foundation, because you can do all these things online. So we think there will be an increase, a great increase of donations to the Rotary Foundation. As I said the other day, we are facing changes. And changing habits is always difficult. But we need changes. And I must tell you, I saw hundreds of district conferences. Let me say very frankly, this was the best I ever attended. It was not good, as I have done in many occasions. I would say now this was a bad conference. No, thank you, District Governor. Thank you, all ones who have worked with you, have prepared a success. The quality of the speaker you had here, the arguments treated. I mean, I can tell you, I think I am a man now in my old generation, in my old age, with a certain experience, because I covered really every position you can cover in Rotary. Besides, I was called at the State Department in Washington, I was called by the World Health Organization in Geneva, I was called by UNESCO. I covered really, I mean, sometimes they created a new position for me because they had to use me in some other things. So if I tell you that I learned a lot of new things here. So thank you to all of you who were here so numerous this morning, but I thank you again, Mr. Governor, and let me shake the hand really. I hope you can succeed. Everyone is giving his own contribution. I have done my role, and I am in the position today to recognize good work. Here I saw the best one in my life. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the words, really humbling words. I'm very honored to hear those. And actually, I extend them to the rest of the team, the Eugenian Rotary. Thank you very much. So, I come to my 45 minutes of closing speech. President Carlo, fellow Rotarians. And guests. I always thought that you were Rotarian. What a tremendous conference it has been. Who disagrees? Okay. came to the final moment of this conference, the 76th for our district. I cannot express my gratitude enough. Thanks and affection to all of you for making it possible, and for various Rotarians, spouses, protractors, interactors, guests, and the support team all over the activities that we held. The past 3 years have proved that Rotarians are excellent when it comes to fellowship and entertainment. And I'm sure my dear friend Kivold will enjoy his year with these fun-loving Rotarians and guests. And it will be a great year for Rotary and the district. I wish my two dear friends, Yasser and Jamil, a very fruitful planning for their year during the next few months. And I'm sure that our two districts, once they are redistricted, will continue to maintain the home activities and service together, and will no doubt be crossing in more than one event and more point of time. As I mentioned in the opening session, I have enjoyed very much the year, meeting all of you, knowing what you do, sharing your experiences and challenges, trying to solve issues whenever possible. And I apologize if I have not been able to meet every one of you and solve every problem that we faced. But I am sure that my district team and I will continue to be of support to you and your clubs. This year has not been possible without my fellow Jordan Rotarians. They have given me the support, advice and love, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart for that. I will never forget what they have done to me and for the persons who have been bearing with me for the past year. The hard times, the moody times that I went through. I apologize for occasionally putting them in such situations, and mainly to acknowledge the support and the unlimited love that I received from my family, my wife, whose birthday yesterday I missed actually. My children Ali Kareem and Laith and Sarah. I love them very much, and I promise that since this will be over soon, I will have more time to stay with them and enjoy some quality time. A special thanks to His Royal Highness Prince Hassan bin Talal for the for his patronage of this event, and for attending with Her Royal Highness Princess Sarwat the opening ceremony and delivering a keynote speech, and special thanks to Aziza Chief Commissioner and Commissioners. Rotary Club of Aqaba, I'd like to thank you very much for hosting us in your beautiful city. Thank all the facilities provided by the government, by Aqaba, by the Aziza, for making this a successful and peaceful and safe conference. The police, the airport, the hospitals, the airport officials, all of them. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the speakers. They were really wonderful, Rotarians and guests. They were really excellent. And I thank them, and I will be sending them on your behalf thank you letters to appreciate their contribution to this conference. I'd like to thank the sponsors who have generously given to this event to make it possible to have all the different facilities. I'd like to thank, I will name them later on, but I'd like to thank each and one of them, and there are plenty of them. Allow me to thank in no particular order, because I cannot put them on one line. I have to put them one after the other. I don't know, it doesn't work. I have to go by the sequence. I'd like to thank Arif Al-Arif for the communication. Samir Der, Chairman of the Awards, Mustafa Nasreddin, for the speakers, Rajai for doing the logistics for the speakers, Shaukat and Inas acting as aides to the President, the volunteers and support, the financials, the administration, Shadi, Muhammad, Rana, Ziba, the discovery team. Maybe I should specifically thank Riyad Al-Alami for the extra. Probably she's doing more work. I'd like to thank the Leaders Organizing Committee. Also, so many of them, I will mention the names of Mahat Awar, Basman Obrayli, Shireen Hamadi, and Deepa Nafis. I'd like to thank special guests that have been with us this conference. The GSC team from Germany. This international link, this is what makes Rotary different than any other organization. Special thanks goes to the conference and the district secretary, Rami Shaban. I wish to thank again His Excellency Abdel Bittaji for the support that he has given. And not of us, I hope his wife is. Thank you, Nawab. And last but not least, certainly, I'd like to thank, I would say, two of the very, very best friends that we have been together maybe 20 years in our club, if not more. They are my club colleagues, and by the way, both of them were presidents way before I became president. So they have more experience, and that's why they accepted, and I'm very humbled that they did accept to work jointly as co-chairs. I'd like to thank Rafiq and Rasool and Rafiq. Those of you who worked on an organizing committee, you wouldn't believe the amount of tasks that they have to follow up. You wouldn't believe. If I say hundreds, I might be underestimating. But they were following it up day after day, meetings after meetings, and thanks to their effort that we have this conference. Rasool is here.
Still working.
I wanted the complete list of the sponsors, please. I can name Ayla. Ayla have been so generous to us. Ayla is, as you've seen, a large development company that's developing huge area. Naqaba, I'm sure some of you went to the site 2 days ago. And it's a huge investment, and I hope many of you will be able to visit again, maybe invest in it. It's a huge area, it's a beautiful area, and I thank Ayla and the Sahiduddin, the CEO, for giving us the support to hold this. It was one of the main reasons, I would say, that I decided we would go to Aqaba, because of the support initially received from Ayla. Thank them all. Another generous supporter and sponsor was Omnia. Omnia is the telephone company, is the mobile company, but their support has been more than the SIM cards. It's not the SIM cards. It's lots and lots of services that they have provided us, and they paid it on our behalf. And I thank especially Mais Hiari. Mais Hiari, she was the coordinator of us. The Tawal group, I'd like to thank them very much. They have been really one of the first who jumped to support us. And the Tawal group represent our friend Tawfiq Awar, past district governor, who unfortunately could not be with us, but certainly he was, and his group were with us all the time. And I thank him, and we really thank, and I really appreciate if you recognize our friend Tawfiq Awar, who is not with us today. Another great Rotarian who also could not be with us, but his group of company did support us, and we really thank the Nupal group. Nupal, represented by his son Ghassan. Elia Nupal was as well as past governor, past president. He was an organizing committee chair for the conference of 1986 or something, and we really thank the group for doing that. Jordan National Bank, Ahli Bank, thank you very much for your contribution to this conference. Pepsi Cola, the Pepsi Cola and the water and the cold drinks that you have were generously presented by Pepsi Cola. I'd like to thank Imad Kilani for his support to our. Imad Kilani is the Mabar. It's a project undergoing, just starting project in the area. It's also going to be a multi-billion-dollar project on the other side. These are the organizations, but there are many, many Rotarians who have contributed to financial contribution to this conference. And I thank them all, and I will be conducting a special thanks to them at a later stage. Now, that's the end of my speech. I would like, that's the first part. Now I would like to recognize the fine gentlemen who have delivered our morning session, and I would like to present President Carlo with a token, a small token from the Jordanians and the organizing committee, and please, Usama.
This one. لا مش انت.
يا سمر
يا سمر تعالي.
حبيبي
يا بنتي انا ما بصورش. اقفي قدامي وصوري. اقفي قدامي. تعالي.
This is Governor-elect Evo.
No.
District Governor-elect Jamil Awad.
Afterwards, you have to kiss your wife.
Where is she?
Next year.
District Governor-elect Yasser Hassan.
You want to stay here?
يلا باي باي. Still he's here.
Yes.
يلا.
They occupied my conference. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
There are no seats for us.
What security now? Thank you. We go into maybe the more interesting part. You know, part of my visits to the district clubs, maybe the first part was, what are you doing in projects? What have you done? What are your plans? Depending on the time of the year I visited. And I kept writing what projects were made by the clubs. And I was very impressed by many projects. Some were in the drawing stages, some were in the implementation stages, some were completed. But I feel I must recognize one project. So of course I could recognize 5, 10, 20, but I want to single out one project only. Not that the others are not to the standard, they were maybe better even. But this one, because of its simplicity, because of its reaching to thousands of people, because of its expandability, it can be expanded easily with very little amount of money and work. And it makes a great impact on the community. Money-wise, maybe it's not very much, but it made really difference to the lives of thousands. I would like to recognize the if I use the term, and I hope nobody will get offended from the people who worked with him, he was the driving force for implementing the project, between brackets S projects. Because it's multiple projects together, they made it one project, amazing project. And I hope by the end of the year we're going to have it published for PR, for Humanity in Motion, and maybe beyond that. The project is simply implementing water filtration in schools. The project costs $2,500, maybe $3,000, depending on the piping and this. But it provides clean water for children. And you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of students. So this project, which started a year before as a pilot, I like to think of it the same way as polio started as a pilot for a project in Philippines. This one started as a project for a club in Saida in Lebanon. And then the president of that club expanded the idea, and he became the country chair of the water committee, and he started implementing the idea of his successful year across Lebanon. And as a result, within the first 6 months, I would say maybe 7 months of this year, we had over 120 schools implemented with this project. Now, he did not do it on his own. He was a driving force. The people who were doing it, the people who were doing the financing were the clubs themselves. But he was the one pushing so that this is spread all over. And we are working together. Hopefully we'll have it a $1 million project into Lebanon. Currently this project has been accumulation of, I think, if I lost count actually, because he's continuously calling me for matching grants, and I think the last count was 13 or 14 matching grants. Total project value is $250,000, and I would say, I don't have the count, but I think most, maybe if not all, Lebanese club took part in this as a partner, and I thank them very much for their support. The person, of course you know him, unfortunately he could not be with us. He's too occupied. Assistant Governor Badruddin Ghazawi. I would like to present him with a very small token, and I ask Deputy George to receive it.
يلا سيدة انا سيدة
Thank you, District Governor Usama. On behalf of the Water Exfiltration Country Chair in Lebanon, Dr. Badr Ghazawi, we thank District Governor Usama, and we thank the team in Lebanon for doing this successful, hoping to be a mega project. Given Dr. Razawi honored me to give District Governor Usama a token in that direction. Thank you.
حلو